Welcome to episode 11 of EUphoria, available on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube.
Definitely YouTube.
You forgot that one. I'm Daniel Dracos, joined by my co-host Officio here. This is the show about all things EULCS. We got a couple of topics today. We're going to be trying Viable once again. We're going to do a semifinals review. We're going to do a third place preview and a finals preview alongside the classic prediction and bets that you guys love so much. Getting ready for this week in Copenhagen. Now, to join us, to make sure this whole thing is possible, to make it as compelling as possible, we have brought on the mid laner from Vitality, Jiizuke, and joining him, returning friend of the podcast, support KaSing. I believe, what did you call him? The greatest support of all time?
I believe he is the greatest support of all time. Greatest player of all time.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Jiizuke.
I didn't know he was here.
Fun fact, the moment you started, Dracos, and you said welcome, I looked at both Jiizuke and KaSing, and they were like trying their hardest not to laugh. The second you start going live. And it kind of explains what kind of episode this is going to be.
This is going to be good. I'm excited about the returning Laughmaster himself, KaSing, and then also Jiizuke.
He's young apprentice.
For Laughmaster in the EULCS, definitely fair to say.
I mean, maybe KaSing is my apprentice.
Yeah, it's true. You do have good laughs.
The other way around.
Oh, pretty sure I had more favorites.
You have been here before, so I guess it's your spot.
He's a veteran here.
So, before we get into it, before we start talking about some of the topics of the day, a lot of people know a lot about KaSing. KaSing, we got to talk about your history last time. Jiizuke, we don't have as much time to talk about your history today, but can you give us like the shortened version? Where did you come from, man? Because obviously people know who you are now, rookie at the Split, crushing it on stage, but who were you before you were the legendary rookie of the Split?
I just played since season 2, and always been Aigilo, but I didn't quite try hard from the beginning. Like, only started the idea only started from like season 4, season 5. And I tried really hard when I quit my home 2 years ago. And I jumped from gaming houses to houses, like from 4G to Giants and then now Vitality. And yeah, just give it all my best. Just try hard 15 hours a day, and here I am.
Grinding.
You hear that, kids? 15 hours a day.
All right, so
That's what you need.
most of your history, they're laughing because they've already seen this image I'm about to show them. Most of your history, I understand, but there's one thing I got to ask. You used to have very different hair. Guys, when we link this podcast, we will make sure to share this.
We'll definitely upload this picture.
But Jiizuke has like the best Italian fro I have ever seen in my life. Talk to us about this. Where did this go? Because this is a look. This is an aesthetic that I can get behind.
So the story of this picture is we needed pictures in case we enter Challenger Series with 4G. And I said to the owner, make sure this pic doesn't get to the internet. And then we don't expect to join Challenger Series. And then when we do, there is this picture of me on the internet. And I'm like, oh, no, please. I didn't want this picture, please.
You look good. I mean, this is a good headshot, though. You look good.
I mean, it's a pretty good angle.
You're a good-looking dude. This is...
You know, without sounding like a creep, when I see that picture, you do remind me a little bit of Ron Jeremy.
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, I knew you were thinking it. You guys were all thinking it.
We'll see if we can get a high-quality copy of that picture to use for the promotional images on this episode so people know what we're talking
Imagine
about.
if I had that huge bird in there, like afro hair, huge bird. It goes over. Like.
KaSing, have you ever had long hair?
Actually, I have. But it was like one of those emo phases, you know? That,
with the hair swept over the
kind
eye.
of, yeah, it was no good time.
So no pictures?
No. I'm pretty sure you cannot find it.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll find it.
If you
It's a
find it
challenge,
ever, then I'm not playing League.
Do you realize you're fighting the internet right now? Like,
Yeah,
they're gonna
people
look
will find
for it.
They
You
will
just
not find
incited a search.
Oh man.
Okay, I like it.
If it's on the internet, they will find it.
For
I
sure.
agree. Okay, the other thing about you, Jiizuke, is you have probably the most nicknames for a new pro player of anybody, like in terms of time played in the ULCS for nicknames. Because then you have a lot of nicknames too, But for you, Jiizuke, what's your favorite nickname that people have given you?
Italian Pride.
Italian Pride. Damn, we got
That's
it all
good.
wrong.
That was wholesome. I like that you went for the wholesome one. I thought maybe we'd get one of the trollier ones, but the Pride of Italy. Italian Pride.
I named myself Italian God. Like I just gave it to myself, and I was just going around tournaments in Italy with this name. But Italian Pride is just Twitch chat, like spamming in Italian Pride, and I saw this name. I'm like, I'm gonna rename to this name instead of you. Like it was really insane. And then on whatever post I make on Facebook, it was full of comments. Italian Pride, and I love the name.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What about Italian Stallion?
I was thinking of that one too.
I mean, I don't mind having many nicknames, but my favorite is Italian Pride.
We got it all wrong in the broadcast.
That for sure.
We instantly called it the Italian Stallion. There were a lot of other ones.
Now,
Italian God, Italian Pride, Italian Stallion. What else?
Big Jizz.
Big G.
Yeah, that's a good one.
that's the one I was hoping you'd
If I
say.
was Jiizuke, I would go for that.
Okay, that one.
That one that's the game that keeps
That was
on
my
giving.
favorite one. Oh my
But
God.
here's the thing: is you've got so many great nicknames, Jiizuke, and KaSing. We used to just say KaSing effect whenever you came up, right? But then you disproved the KaSing effect last time you were here. It turned out to be the Hjarnan effect. So we need a new nickname for you. What do we call you? We need a special name on. Me and EUphoria are casting the third place match, so we're gonna get the chance to use this nickname. So we need you.
It's kind of hard to think about because I feel like it's hard for supports to get recognition in the first place. So I don't know. It just I don't see a nickname at the moment. But I don't know.
So what does your teammates call you? Ray?
KaSing.
KaSing?
I mean,
Okay. No
yeah.
one has any funny
KaSing.
nicknames for you at all.
I mean, not really. It's just Ray or KaSing.
Okay.
If you can think of another one that might reference the fact that he only plays ranged Janna Morgana, I mean, I enjoy that.
Doesn't even pick Morgana.
Oh, that's true.
It's just what's needed for our team comp.
Yeah.
It's just the way that our team works.
Yes. Let's keep it at that one, and let's try to think about some good nicknames for him.
Let us know.
Because
on
when the
Twitter.
KaSing effect died in week 5, like, I didn't have anything for KaSing. Like, I didn't know what to talk about anymore.
What happened in week 5?
So he told us when he was on the podcast in week 5, you guys can still go back and listen to that one, good episode, that apparently the reason H2K had success when he joined was not because of him, it was because of Hjarnan. So it actually became the Hjarnan effect and not the KaSing effect.
We
So
used to believe
it
that KaSing
disappeared.
was like this great changer of teams, and he'd like join a team and they'd get like really good instantly, and that was called the KaSing effect.
But you have to remember, prior to me joining H2K, they were 2-4. So
You were the one who killed it, not us. We always believed in it.
I mean, the thing is, it's like Hjarnan. Okay, he's good, but back then he was not great though, because of the fact that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was just, he played it free with other supports, so you can never like have time to build synergy and stuff. But back then, I just made sure that he was good,
So you made him good.
and then he just made everyone good after. He's just
So it's
he's,
kind of
he's,
the
he's
KaSing
even better now.
I feel like he's just going back now because he's realized he sold out his only compelling history.
He lost
point.
a lot of Twitter followers after. People were like, guys, follow this.
I swear it's still a thing.
I lost 1,000.
This guy lied to us.
Rest in peace, the KaSing effect.
So the KaSing effect turned the Shook effect after?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it's actually true. That's where we got the sugar effect from.
Huh.
Because he joined it and they got good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're not very creative.
Only effects here.
Only effects.
First topic today, more of a game than anything else. It is viable. I'm going to provide you guys with a list of 6 champions. You get to pick one of them, and I'm going to give you 60 seconds to make the most compelling argument you possibly can that this champion should be played in competitive and would be really, really strong.
Okay.
All right? Your list of 6 champions for the day is Warwick, Heimerdinger,
Oh yeah.
Sona,
Oh yeah.
Pantheon, Aatrox, and Fiddlesticks.
You pick one.
You gotta pick one. Normally, Deficio gets to play, but since we have 2 guests, it's just you guys going toe to toe, and who can give me the more compelling.
I will be the judge then.
You are the
deciding.
judge. You're the decider, and I'm just here to time and explain. So, KaSing, you're the veteran on the show, so I'm gonna make you go first.
Okay.
So you need to pick a champion.
Oh, man, which is... It was Heimerdinger, Sona, Pantheon, Fiddlesticks, Warwick,
Aatrox,
and
Warwick.
Aatrox. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to pick Sona.
Sona, got it. Hold on to that. Now, before he makes his argument, you can pick your champion, just so you know what you're going to... You're going to do Heimerdinger? Okay, I like that.
Heimerdinger is underrated, man.
To be fair, Sona before it was broken in solo queue, I remember. There was a huge buff before, and the skillings were so insane. Everyone was playing it mid.
And then he got
I
nerfed.
played as well. Then he got nerfed and put it in the forget.
In the dumpster over there.
in the dark, you know, like...
Get ready, though, because you're going to have to convince me that it's good again. But
That's KaSing, yeah.
But first, KaSing, Sona, you have 60 seconds. Are you ready?
Wait.
Think about it.
Wait, maybe I should pick another champion.
It's not too late. You can pick another champion.
Now that I think about it. No, she's gonna have one shot. No. I want Fiddlesticks.
You can lie.
Remember, the goal here is not for you to give me the most honest argument. The goal here is the most compelling argument.
Okay,
so you want to throw a little BS in
Go
there.
on, just
Sona? You ready?
Yeah.
60 seconds starting now. Go.
So, Sona is a very nice girl who has very...
Where are you going there, champ?
I mean, okay, honestly, she's like, how do I say it? She can heal actually quite a lot compared to like every other support. Maybe not Nami, but the fact that Sona is able to stun 5 people with her ulti, like not just 1, 5. What support can do that? And not to mention, it's 1.5 seconds. Like other supports usually can only stun for 1 second, you know, maybe even 0.75. But Sona's pretty good in this regard. Not to mention, I feel like if you Q, but with 5 people around you, you're doing like 5 times your damage as well. Like legit 5 times. For support, that's huge.
That's a lot.
And for your E, I think, your movement speed, you're not giving yourself moves, you're giving 5 people moves. Like everything you do, you're doing 5 times more. Which is why I feel like Sona can definitely be one of the best picks in support right now.
Damn, you had
That
10,
ramped
you had
up
10
a lot.
seconds left to spare.
The first 15 seconds were like, I was like, I'm not buying
No,
it.
that was the biggest
But then
train
KaSing,
wreck
he got only
Sona
better
is
and
a
better.
very nice girl with...
Yeah, with what?
Do me a favor and never finish that sentence.
But I mean, at the end, I don't know.
I respect that.
I will let you guys figure out what the rest of the sentence will be.
With super broken stat lines. Well, that's what we were going to say.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing else you were going to say.
super high mana cost as well.
Yeah. All right. Martin, you feel like you got enough of a Sona argument? We can go on to the next one?
I'm stuck on the first 5 seconds of it, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
definitely,
okay.
the last parts were good.
All right, next up, Jiizuke, Heimerdinger. Are you ready to convince us?
I'm ready.
All right, and go.
So I think in the current meta, Heimerdinger can be a great pick. You get mid prio and you can go in fog. You place the turrets in the mid lane and you just, they push all the time and you can pressure other lanes after that. So I think it's really good for the early part. And then in late game, you have a stun that is so much range. Like you evolve your E with R. How crazy is that? You can stun 5 people, and probably it's even more broken than Sona. Like, I don't know. And with W, you can one-shot someone. Like, imagine, I think this champion is broken. Just people don't believe in the champion in the longer. I don't know.
I
All
like
right,
it.
there you go. You had 15 seconds left. Now,
I gotta say,
here's what I'm gonna say first. First off, I like that you went for legitimate arguments. You're like, we can get mid prio, we can do that. But a lot of viable pro tip here is just selling it and getting really excited about total BS. So when KaSing said, if you queue with 5 people nearby, you get 5 times damage, even though I know that's objectively, even though that's not true because it can only hit 2 people, KaSing, well done.
What? The aura that you give out.
The aura, you said it does 5 times damage.
You do 5 times the damage. Oh my god.
Anyway, part of what makes it so good for me is that is the passion itself. So when you talk to me about the upgraded E even better than Sona, that was the part I was like, oh.
that's also where I was like, that's a great point.
I'm buying it.
That's a great point. And especially the one-shotting on W, which is still there. We just nerfed the big cannon.
Yeah, actually, they nerfed only the turret so far.
Yeah, they
Like,
really
that
nerfed the upgraded turret one.
Yeah, but
Not as much, I think. The big turret is what they nerfed a lot lately.
what's sad sometimes is that Riot nerfs champions based on solo queue. Like
They kind of have to because there's a lot more solo queue players, right?
of course. But for example, Heimerdinger was not touched at all, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
queue was huge nerf. And I'm like, Bringing this, Heimerdinger is broken since when? Also, Katarina, for example, was one of my champions as well. I got nerfed like 5 times in 5 different patches. And the champion was useless. But that one I understand because there are so many Katarina players in solo queue that just go on one-shot people. So
Yeah, it's a lot of I feel like it's a lot of the champions that are not super fun to play against.
yeah.
Because like playing against Heimerdinger is not funny. It's just annoying. So when you try and gank him, at level 6, he puts down a big cannon and it just shoots you in like 3 seconds. You're like, okay, that's really boring. So they nerf it. But I am actually sad because I think W and E on Heimerdinger, especially with ulti, becomes like some of the coolest abilities in the game. And actually could be super broken. Like as a Heimerdinger walking into a Baron pit and put the E that is bounted into the Baron itself, like it's insane.
For the record, you unintentionally picked yourself into a good choice for voting just because Deficio was a Heimerdinger one trick for like 2 months when he was OP, and then he got nerfed and he never touched him again.
Didn't know that.
Okay, KaSing, your argument was okay. Your passion was great. Kind of sold me. I like the 5-man stun part. I love the detail to how other supports can't do that.
Despite it not being entirely true.
Despite some other supports also being able to do that.
But Sona's a very nice girl.
She's a very nice girl.
You forgot about that part.
I think Jiizuke beat you when
Thank you.
mid lane priority, which of course is the only way Vitality wins games.
You didn't buzzword enough.
And when he then said that Heimerdinger can also stun 5 people, but also probably deal more damage with it. Or at least, how long is a stun? No one knows.
1.5
Let's say
seconds?
it's 5 seconds long.
Actually, 2 seconds, I think. It's
It's really big.
because
It's
I
huge.
remember I played against Red Bulls in Challenger Series. Against Magi Felix, he picked Heimerdinger.
we played.
And I got stunned once by his RE. I was just stunned forever. So I think it's 2 seconds, 2.5.
I'm going with Jiizuke's Heimerdinger on this one. Not biased at all for the Heimerdinger
That is
pick.
bias, but I was not watching.
If
Yeah,
KaSing
I-
hadn't lost the first 10 seconds of his, he would have won, for sure.
What are you talking about? I thought Sona was a really nice girl. Was the thing. Yankos, who also beat you last time, did say Amumu has no friends. That was part of his argument.
That's true. And Yankees also started yelling. He started yelling into the mic.
Yeah, that was kind of the good. All right, congratulations, Jiizuke. You are the second winner of Viable. You join an elite group consisting of only you and Yankos because we've only
Hall
done
of
it 2
Fame.
times. The Hall of Fame.
But I'm rank 1 or rank 2.
Oh.
You're probably ranked 2. I'm sorry.
Ranked 2?
Yankos.
Yankos yelled a lot.
Yankos yelled a
so-
lot.
Yeah.
I should have yelled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I can laugh for you. It's fine. I think I win with one laugh.
Yeah. You're trying to buy us with your laughs now? That's not how this works.
Yes, I laugh.
It's a fair competition.
KaSing, let's do a duo. Like, just laugh on the mic right now.
I really can't do that.
Man, this episode is like half this episode is actually laughing.
No, because half of the KaSing episode was laughing. 60
true.
to 70% of
That's
this
true.
episode is going to be laughing.
We upgraded.
Well played, boys. That concludes Viable. Next topic is going to be about the semifinals that were played last weekend. You guys both got to play as you pat each other's bellies on our podcast.
What? I don't know that. What?
There's no camera here, but we can see everything.
Keep it wholesome. Gestures of friendship. Gestures of friendship. Caught me off guard a little bit, so I thought I'd explain why I suddenly stopped talking. So G2 Esports played against Splice, and Vitality played against Fnatic. Now, neither of you guys were able to win the series, but you both got a game. Why don't we talk a little bit about what happened? Let's start with, how about we start with G2 versus Splice? KaSing, run me through what happened in that series. Why did G2 best you that day? What went right? What went wrong? Give me the details.
I think G2 played much better on the day. I felt like they were just way more proactive compared to us. Like, even though we won the first game, it felt like, you know, that game was really back and forth. And at times when, like, we got a lead, I felt like we didn't really push hard enough compared to G2. Whereas when G2 got a lead, they always kind of made the first play. And I think ultimately, you know, it kept building up the small leads that they got. And then after we eventually just lost, I think that's kind of what happened. Even though, like, there were some points in the game where I felt like we were ahead as Splice and we could basically push our lead more. But it just felt like on the day we weren't really decisive enough to kind of call, you know, the shots.
Did you feel like your pick and ban phase was a problem at all?
I felt like our pick ban kind of. There was one game I think that we banned Olaf and we picked we let them pick Skarner and we picked Sejuani into it. I think that was the game that we kind of just
Game 2, yeah.
we gave them the game, and I think that was pretty bad. But otherwise, I think the other pick bans were fine or good enough to basically if we execute it right. But the thing is, I felt like with those comps that we kind of picked in third and fourth one, it required us to pretty much be ready to actually pull the trigger and be ready whenever to just go in. But I feel like, how do I say it? It's weird because I felt like in scrims, when we played that comp, for example, it went really well. But maybe it was just the staging or maybe people were just nervous. But I just felt like it didn't really go as it should have went. And I think ultimately we kind of lost from that.
So you're talking kind of a lot about the issues of just G2 being the more proficient team when it comes to snowballing advantages. Do you think as we move forward, do you think you're still going to struggle to kind of show off what you're doing well in scrims, where you talk about some of these compositions that maybe are a little bit more, you talk about pulling trigger, being more confident to execute these kind of plays, these more 1-3-1 style compositions, more pick focused?
I mean, the thing is these kind of concept 1-3-1 stuff, you have to basically not make mistakes. And once you've made one or two, it's already really hard to come back. And obviously the difference between 1-3-1 and teamfight compositions is that teamfight is more forgiving because even if you die, it's fine because maybe you can still win the next teamfight because of the fact that you can just play your champions better than them or your composition, sorry. But with 1-3-1, it's if one guy is splitting and the other people on the mid lane are dying or something, then there's no way to come back because even if the guy splits, he cannot do anything by himself without other people.
So a question then actually in just trying to find a different angle then to the kind of drafts people are going for. If playing 1-3-1 are so difficult, if you make a mistake on stage, it's over, and the other team is drafting the stronger team fight, why is it then that, let's say, Splice or Vitality, why don't you guys opt into the stronger 5-man comps if they're easier to play?
Because, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jiizuke.
Of course, you always strive for perfection, and if you can do it, then you are gonna pull it out on stage. And scrim-wise, the 1-3-1 comps work a lot because there is no pressure and no nothing, and you know what you have to do. You don't have to die mid while the splits are the sides are pushing, and if they win by themselves, then you will win the game eventually. And then what happens on stage is that you go and other sides or mid will die, and then the game gets hard, and you are just what do we do from here? They will rush Nashor, what can we do to prevent it? And what happened, for example, in our series, I think third game, we got picked up, and they go for Nashor, and we just go for outplay, and they are all low HP, and we get the Nashor. But that's of course not expected. If you don't outplay, then they take the Nashor. So it's not the way you play it, let's say.
So what's the strength then? You guys are both on teams that run these kind of 1-3-1 compositions that rely more heavily on split pushers. So, I mean, I see what you're saying, that you trust yourself to execute it on stage, and I respect that. But then why practice this as opposed to team fighting if team fighting is generally safer and is more consistent to execute on stage, let's say, or less risk heavy? Is 1-3-1 just better if you play it right?
If you watch LCK, there is Kingston that is drafting all early game and split push, and destroys every team drafting a teamfight comp or scaling comp or whatever. So you see it, and you just see this is the right way of playing. But then, of course, they do 80%, 90% of what they do is good, and there is very little room to mistakes. They do mistakes, of course, but it's not so much compared to AU and NA. So it works for them, but then AU and NA teams want to do it as well, and it doesn't work because we make too many mistakes. That's the problem.
In the case for
the immortal struggle, man, I feel that.
No, this is legit 45 years of this kind of thing where you watch LCK, you're like, wow, we should play exactly like that. Everything they're doing looks so strong, and then you try and do it again, and It's actually interesting, before I let you in, KaSing, to talk about this topic, because we had all the G2 guys, after they beat Splice on the post-game lobby, talking a lot about the Fnatic vs Vitality game. This is, of course, before the semifinal was played. And they're like, man, Vitality and Scrims, they look really good. Like, this series is going to be really close. They might even beat Fnatic, these kind of things. And I thought to myself, okay, so Vitality and Scrims are succeeding with their early game play style. That makes sense. However, we have seen a lot in the past that doesn't translate to stage every single time. So there was this kind of like feeling of, okay, maybe these players are overrating Vitality just based on the scrims, because they were legit talking about how you might even, or Perkz was almost saying you guys could be favorites.
People were predicting in favor of Vitality a lot.
So, but then on stage, as you said, it's harder. One mistake happens, bam, the whole thing falls apart. And Fnatic in a lot of ways has had teamfight comps like every game, at least from what I remember with the drafts, and could just go mid or go Baron. That was their win condition in a lot of the games. And I don't know if you guys needed to adapt then. Like, after game 1 and game 2 doesn't go in your favor, do you then not need to change? Or are you just stuck in that one way?
Like, game 1 went horribly for us, but game 2, it was close to what we wanted, pretty much. And that's why we copied exactly the same draft from game 2. And we went into game 3 because we really trust that we could run this comb and win with this comb.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we won our game. But still, we made a lot of mistakes, like a lot of them. But if you don't make mistakes, it's a really free win in the end. Like, same when we played against H2K, for example. Like, I expected a 3-0 from that series, but it turned out in 3-2 because we were just making so many mistakes. Like, I think we won every early game, and the game should be just up from there. Like, you should just win automatically eventually if you don't make mistakes. But even there, it was 3-2. And
you were dangerously close to losing that series.
Yeah.
I actually think it could have been a 3-1 H2K if Shook hadn't rushed Baron at 40 minutes.
And leapt into Zach in the last
And
game.
then-
Shook had a rough series there. He saved them a game, a couple games, and he also threw a couple
Shook
games.
was a kamikaze in that series.
Yeah, it was
You
crazy.
saw in the first game, he flashed with Olaf. The Baron was at 2.5k HP. And they just burst it down. I want the 50-50.
Yeah, he got it. He got it, baby.
I was like, what is this? It never happened to me. Like,
I think he just knows that's Gilia's confidence. He's like, I have to do this. And then he gets the Baron and is like, okay.
like I was really impressed. Like, was like, who plays like this? I can't believe it. And then in quarterfinals, for example, like, it was not like H2K. I didn't expect a 3-0. I didn't I knew our winning conditions, but I thought it would be a fought series. But it ended up being on Fnatic side, pretty much. So it was kind of sad. I thought we could do way more than we did.
Against Fnatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. KaSing, just your take on the whole why play 1-3-1 if it's so hard compared to the 5-man teamfight comps?
Because if you watched...
Don't say if you watch Kingzone.
No. I was actually not going to say Kingzone. I was going to say if you watch Splice's games in the early weeks. We tried to go for this kind of like Splitpush comp in the beginning, and it went horribly wrong. And then we kind of like adapted on and kind of went to Teamfight Comps, where you basically, even if you're like 7k down, 8k down, I think that's when I was
exactly.
Which you learned from first-hand experience, being 7k or 8k down in every one of your games.
I mean, the thing is, you're not actually 7k down, because provided you're both 80 carries of enemy and your 80 carry are the same, or if your 80 carry is a bit more, then you can actually still win teamfights based on that power spike. And I think back then, if like I was playing more like Janna, Zilean, Lulu, these kind of champions that basically buff 80 carries. So no matter what, provided you can basically stall out the game and basically get a late game and team fight, then eventually the team with Ardent wins. And that's how I kind of saw, the team fight compositions. But the thing is, like, now that teams are getting better, and like I feel like they are able to snowball if they get like early game leads, which is what most teams obviously strive for with like the early game the 1-3-1 comps. Then once you get into that position where team fighting is not possible for the enemy team, then you just win the game based on if you make 0 mistakes. And I think every kind of team strives for that.
It's interesting. It makes sense, right? You want to play the style that is effectively the strongest in this case. It just like when I look at G2 and Fnatic in these semifinals, I feel like that's easier to execute drafts in a lot of the games, and they got a lot of Swains, obviously, as well. That teams tried to counter, and then it didn't really work, and Swain walked into the first team fight. He clicks R, he can't be killed, and then he kills your AD carry in like 1 second, and you're like, oh, okay, that's Swain.
Awesome.
So both G2 and Fnatic end up winning 3-1, and they go to the final, and I mean, from the outside perspective, while I understand the need to want to play to perfection and like without mistakes for this 1-3-1, it generally just feels like for almost any team not King Zone, playing the more like the teamfight drafts seem just to be the easier way to pick up more wins. But then again, maybe that doesn't improve you enough as a team.
I can't believe you're doubting the Italian BDD. Have you seen this man's Talia?
I have.
Yeah, Fnatic game 1. I saw
No, that game never happened.
How many nicknames we are at? 4, 5?
That's a few. By the way, I love your tweet with Talia.
Yeah,
Talia.
that's insane.
Oh my god, that was one of the best tweets.
It's actually not my tweet because I go on a page and there are so many Italian memes, and I laugh so hard, you know. But they have like low visibility, and when I see them, like I'm like, this one will be a banger if I post it on Twitter. So I just post it and it gets like 3K.
You stole it and put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
If I could give credit to the guy, I would, but I don't remember where I saw it actually.
Right.
Okay.
Talia meme creator, reach out.
That's insane.
So Talia's great. Swain seems better. Is Swain OP? That's the thing I want to ask in these semifinals. I made a joke saying ban Swain. I think we've talked a lot about how good the champion is.
He lost one game in the semifinals.
Yes.
And won the rest.
I think Swain is definitely a good champion, but it's counterable. Like you can play around it. Like myself, I played a lot of Swain in solo queue, so I know the weaknesses, and that's why when we went into a series, I was like, I can play against it. And I think in laning phase wise, I was destroying caps. Like even when they had Swain Sejuani and when they had Swain Trundle, like they couldn't gank me. Maybe one gank out of 10 or something. So if we played good early game after all those ganks and after we snowballed the top side or bot side, I think it's really manageable. But as we said already, like on stage, some things works and some things don't. So
Swain definitely works on stage.
Swain definitely works on stage. Swain Trundle's really gross. You guys also were cheeky Swain abusers there in your series.
I mean, we got Swain one game and we won, right? If I remember.
It's
Yep.
true, and then you
Okay.
gave him over.
Yeah, then we just gave him a bit, tried to trade away some picks for it, but didn't go to plan.
So basically, the plan was, so the way I look at the pick and ban phase now is if you leave Swain open, it gets first picked. Which means on red side, you have the advantage of knowing the enemy first pick and then having the ability to trade for 2 strong picks, plus then have double counter pick for later.
Yes, exactly.
So I can understand the value there, but the answers to Swain so far, I haven't seen anyone try and hard counter Swain itself. Like, I would imagine things like a Cassiopeia could do well against him in the early game. Am I right or am I wrong?
tune in for semifinals.
Okay.
Ooh.
Tuning in for that one.
That's called Talia, so.
Or tune in for finals and you see Swain red side band.
That could also happen at this point, but
You won't even see Swain.
wait, have you guys learned?
The real
Are we gonna get
the
Swain
real
back?
counter.
Holy moly. Because in the LCK, they banned Swain.
They did?
Yeah. Let me see what his ban rate is in the LCK right now.
You go look it up.
It's definitely high.
I know that you guys are Vitality's the only team to beat Swain in playoffs, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, we're so
Yeah.
famous.
Was that when Fnatic went for the 50-50, right?
Yeah,
but
you
that's
guys.
just they went for 50-50.
Yeah.
Because of Swain.
Okay.
The game was basically over.
Like, Swain usually makes 100%. but, they just don't counterplay to that.
Oh,
I mean, what part of his kit is so strong? Because to me, the ulti seems insane, right? In terms of the actual damage it does, and then the passive seems really good. What is it that actually makes it so good?
It has so much CC, like not to mention the passive, like you can use it like every 6 seconds, if I remember.
something like that.
Like I even tried it on support, right? And it's actually quite good. Like if it can work on support, then it must be good. So I feel like you have so much. Sorry.
Don't worry, man.
The first one.
Don't worry. All right, cut the show.
It's done. Send him home. Jiizuke, just you now.
But yeah, he just has so much damage. That's all I'm gonna say. You want to take it over from him?
Jiizuke, why do you think Swain is so strong?
I don't think it's so strong. That's why I didn't wanted to. I wanted to play against it
Why is he winning so much then?
because people don't know how to play against it. It's every new champion strategy, pretty much. Everyone just like Sion. Last month it was so broken, you know. But then people learn how to play against it, and it's still a very really strong champion, but it's not completely broken, you know. And Zoe at the start, I remember I played the LVP the finals. Anguillus got it by 10 E's. Jack rolled the same, and I just closed my eyes, and then with Zoe it's 10-0 because they don't know how the champion works, you know. Like it just happens. You just have to learn the champions when they come out, and it's fine.
So what is the counter to Swain? If you can reveal it, if you can't, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, the thing is, I'm pretty sure we both have the same idea. But it's more for. Yeah.
I'm not looking for a specific pick, just more playstyle wise. Because I assume it is you push in the Swain, you roam away from him, and you just kill the
Pick a
side.
champion that
that's
looks like
one
a
way.
snake.
That's one way
That's
we
one way
played
to-
it.
yeah.
Didn't work out, but it's fine.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm trying to find. So for some reason, LCK regular season is not here anymore. It's only LCK playoffs. But in playoffs, he was banned all 3 games in the SKT series.
100%.
So 100% ban rate.
Listen, you don't say anything else. Just say 100% LCK playoff.
To be fair, I just saw a faker stream yesterday, and his win is not that good. So I
mean,
think
that's why they banned
I think they banned it because they don't
They
play
banned
it.
it for themselves.
They banned it and they don't play it.
There you go.
I'm probably Tal doesn't play it as well if they just want it away because they ban it blue side as well. It's not only red side. And actually, people don't ban it on blue side, most teams. So I think they just don't play it and they want it out of the equation. And the team knows it and they just let him ban zone.
Probably, yeah.
Does make sense. So before we move forward and start talking about the matches that are coming up next week, I'm curious, when you look back, you guys talked both a lot about like the little things that went wrong. What is like the biggest thing that you guys are working on coming into third place? Not specifically targeted at the enemy team, right? Just like in terms of your team's development, what are you guys kind of trying to tighten up for the coming match?
So I think I mentioned briefly before, like how our ability to just like pull the trigger wasn't that good. I think the difference was that in scrims was we were all on the same page in terms of like what we're doing, but on stage we were kind of like on different pages in terms of how we actually start the fight. Like maybe we had like Camille Shen for one game, right? And we were thinking, okay, maybe Camille goes first and then I just follow up, right? But there are some cases where I can just ulti Camille as she's going in so that I can basically like stack the CC on top. But we didn't even manage to do that until like late. And that's when it was too late, you know? So it's just basically...
Yeah, I remember the level 7 Shenult, I think, that you were level 6 and Camille was level 7 and you eat the enemy top.
Yeah.
And then you didn't went quite all in, but he was dead, right? If Camille ult.
Yeah.
I think he was dead. But then you was ult for 3 minutes and it's
Exactly.
kind of blower.
So that's why it was like...
It should be a huge advantage.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like you have to be on the same page, and if you don't do that and you play a comp that requires you to be on the same be on the same level, then if you like kind of mess it up once, then it doesn't go well after.
Yeah.
Yeah, mess. That is the great word.
Classic KaSing word right there.
How about for you, Jiizuke?
Well, for us, we are like every week we say that we have to fix certain mistakes and we have to improve on certain aspects. But we do improve for sure, but it's never like scrims. I think like our communication in scrims is really insane for me. And for example, in the Fnatic series, I saw that communication in third game. Like before that, it was like loud and unclear. But in third game, like it was just really calm, giving info, and it went really smooth. But on stage, I don't know. It's really hard to communicate the right way, I think. I think that's one of our problems. The others are just play like scrims, I guess. Don't
Play
make
like
yeah,
classic
don't,
one.
yeah, don't make.
I've heard that one
like, we are the new scrim gods. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Vitality last year was also very good in scrims, but then
Yeah.
To be fair, this Vitality is much better on stage than the old
it is
Vitality.
true. The old Vitality farmed for 30
they were
minutes
bad.
and then lost. Holy
Yeah.
moly, man. Casting the old Vitality games last year was like, no. It's like, okay, guys. Oh, they're farming. They're farming.
This is a plea for every team that's struggling out there. Try stuff.
Yeah, that was
As a reminder.
every week we were like, just please
Just make a play.
try something.
Yeah, just go one with your bot and try to do stuff.
But they heard that and they thought we meant like push the waves harder or something, and then recall more, and they literally do nothing and then lose every game.
What's crazy is every part of that team is now like doing better and is more active on a different team. But like, yeah, that 5-man roster as a group was just it was like, all right, we're gonna take a bad trade, we're gonna concede an objective. Got it. All right, we're gonna take a bad trade, we're gonna concede an objective. Got it. All right, how many objectives can we concede without taking a fight? And they're like, do the math. All of them. Got it. Cool. And that
Who was in the roster before?
So it was Nuke Dog mid lane,
Joko,
Joko, Cabo,
Cabo.
Vander,
Steelback.
Steelback.
Oh.
And before Vander was Hachani.
Oh yeah.
Before Chani was KaSing.
Was it a thing before? Yeah.
Oh.
So as we can see, they obviously upgraded when they went from KaSing to Hachani. And then they upgraded to go.
I still remember the match with KaSing. There is like they win a team fight. They take the Elder Drake, and there is like KaSing saying, "Oh, we can actually win this." And then there is Nukdak. Don't say that. And Kabushar is yeah, agree. Don't say that. Okay, guys, we're gonna lose. I laughed him so hard on that one.
Oh god.
Quick little shout out, by the way, if you guys haven't read the article that Joko made about being on Vitality with Hachani as a support, you guys definitely go check it out. That was some crazy stuff to read.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they got rid of Hachani as fast as possible.
Well, whatever happened there, it just seemed like a rough environment. So it's good to see that the new Vitality roster is in a better space. Joko appears to be in a better space on his new team, and it's good that whatever, messed up
It's in the
unhealthy
past
stuff
now.
happened there. Yes, it's gone now. It's in the past.
Yeah.
Fnatic versus G2 Esports, final of the European LCS. Something that's going to be big, something we have to talk about. But right before we came on air again after our quick break, we were about to learn the story behind a meme. KaSing.
Wait, the meme is KaSing.
No. I'm saying your name. I don't know I didn't get the full explanation, so I'm saying it's a meme. Okay, explain this to me. Just explain it to me. Forget that I said anything. Explain this thing to me that you're talking about.
All right.
I'm one of the guys. I'm old now. I'm not hip with the kids. You gotta give me the info here. What is this thing? How did it happen? What's the story?
Okay, so basically I was I don't know who I just played against, but I was coming off the stage, and then I saw Jiizuke and Minigame, and then I said nice to meet you to Minigame, but then Jiizuke was looking at me like as if I didn't even know him or something, And then just looked at me and said nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, Mitrovax, not me. Okay. And then after that, we just say, nice to meet you every time we meet. And what happened was that Selfie and KaSing were talking, and I'm just going on my way, and I look at him and I say, nice to meet you. And Selfie says, oh, nice to meet you too, man. and then I'm like, I meant to KaSing. It was the best thing ever. Me and KaSing start to laugh so hard.
Selfie, man.
So we were just like, what?
He was just being a nice guy.
Poor self.
It was the best, really.
Oh my god. There you go.
So we have actually a meme between you two now, which is the nice to meet you meme.
Yeah, so if you ever seen them at an international event, just
Say nice to meet
Nice
you.
to
nice to meet you.
It's good.
I like that. This came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I had no idea where this was going to go when they started talking about this, but you're like, save it. tell the world. Let them know. Why do you keep saying nice to meet you to each other? Well, there you have it. That is the secret. Back on topic, though, Fnatic versus G2 Esports. It's the final. The best part about this final so far has been Caps' trash talk to Perkz, I would safely say. Have you both heard it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
really fun.
it came out of nowhere, but I liked it. I think it was good.
Well, it all started with Perkz kind of trash talking Caps. a
Actually,
bit.
what did he say? Because I didn't hear Perkz.
Okay, so Perkz, the day before, again in the post-game lobby after the semifinal G2 won, he basically talked about how he felt like Vitality would definitely win the mid lane with you and Gilius, and Caps wasn't performing that well anymore.
Just wasn't impressed by Caps.
He wasn't impressed with him
Wasn't
at
that
all.
good.
Those kind of things. So he was basically just kind of downplaying Caps' performance and saying that you guys would win around the mid lane. Now, I think that was brought up to Caps, or maybe he heard it himself. So the next day, when he was there, if you guys have not seen this clip, it is on LoL Esports Twitter, I think. Otherwise, go watch the post-game lobby of the Fnatic after the Fnatic game. Basically, Caps was asked about Perkz, and he just went.
And he got really upset, and then Shox formally asked, "Okay, what would you say about this whole thing?" Because he was just like, "I can't believe you said that. I'm so upset." And he's like, "I'm gonna smash Perkz so hard he's gonna think it's an international event."
Yeah.
Which is a great line.
And then like you can tell he's pissed because a replay comes up and we have a little bit of an audio issue.
Yeah.
So his audio doesn't cut out and you hear him go, "Oh yeah, Perkz is dead as usual."
Oh, look, Perkz is as per usual.
It was great. That
Yeah, yeah.
mid lane matchup is gonna be so awesome.
Okay, but who?
Is it first split that he trash talks, by the way? Because I heard as well, I think second or third week he said as well, I'm the best mid laner in Europe and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think last year, I don't know, I wasn't in the scene, so. But I think I never heard him trash talk
No,
or
it was
anything.
never like that. It was always like, I think I'm the best because of X, Y, and Z. I think I can outperform like this. But it was never like, I'm going to smash this kid. You know, it was always like, I think I'm good. Here's some analytical reasons why. It was never,
But
I'm trashing this nerd.
we have had this Caps versus Perkz a few times without it being official kind of trash talk. Like, whenever we have talked to either of them on air about the other mid laner, they've not been like, oh yeah, that guy is great. It's always been, I don't know. I think I'm better than him, and he's not as good as you guys try and say, you know. So I think there's a rivalry for sure between them. I think now is the first time it really comes forward and comes out to the world, and we can all see it, and it makes our job as casters very easy. Because I gotta admit, my initial plan for the final was just to use Clash of Kings.
Yeah.
Legacy,
Like Dynasty.
Dynasty, the Throne.
Yeah, got
Those
it.
4 things. And I was kind of like, I really need number 5. And now I have Perkz versus Caps as number 5.
But you guys are here, luckily, so I don't have to listen to Officio's analysis anymore.
That was not announced, that was storylines.
I know. But in general, I've heard your opinion on so many things. Caps versus Perkz. Who is actually better? Who is actually the better mid laner? You're not asking you to like flame the same way that Caps did, obviously.
I
Just
mean,
like
that's your
analytically, who do you think is better? Or flame?
I think they are just 2 different players right now because Perkz had his like 2 years of focusing on mechanics and just smash lane, but I don't think he's that player anymore. While Caps is still that player, I think. Like he just wants to shine mechanically and play for lane. But Perkz has more like the leader part, maybe. Like team player, yeah. Like I think eventually every player will be like that, but at the start you just wanna show what are you capable of, for sure.
Okay.
And personally, like I have fun more playing against Caps. It's just more fun in general. Like you just
more fighting early game.
yeah. You just fight for your life all the time. But actually against Perkz as well. Just Perkz on stage is less aggressive, I'd say.
So if you had to pick one, who's the best right now?
Who's the best?
Let's just say
I think
1v1
they're
lane
same level.
prowess.
I think they're same level. It's not
Same level?
I think it will be a lot about junglers and who wins the
No,
series.
that's such a cop-out. Stop talking about if they just have to fight each other 1v1. If jungler just never goes mid, they get the same champion, game 5 LCK style from back in the day, Zed versus Zed. Who is actually like, who would spank that lane? Because this is the thing. Every time we talk about mid lane matchups, they're like, matchup and junglers. And I get it. I understand that that's actually how it works.
yeah, like-
but
Jack
like,
Troll, Tom
but it's,
Kench.
but it's like, it's such a cop-out. It's so hard. I just want to hear who is better. Tell me who is better.
They're the same. They're equally good.
Like, yeah, for me, it's they're the same level. I think it will really be jungle matchup
Cool.
because I think Jankos play better around mid than Broxah does for sure. Like I think
Even
they,
after the semifinal where Broxah was mid, like
yeah, I think they proved that they can really play around mid, and they showed us against us. But I still think that Jankos Perkz are better duty wise.
okay. KaSing, Caps versus Perkz.
I think 1v1. I think Caps is better. Because I feel like
Yes.
Perkz
Team player.
I want to know the support thought process why Caps is better.
because Caps roams a
Caps
lot
roams.
more. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I've
But I
played-
thought Caps was one to smash lane.
Yeah, but he does. But he uses
But
that.
I
for
do
his-
I do smash lane as well, but I roam, you know.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, because
Fair point. Fair point.
no Talia, no. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But
wow.
well, how I see it,
Betrayal.
how I see it is that Perkz, usually most of the time is anyway, he plays like when he does play for lane and he does like win lane and get mid pro, he plays for like to Wonder's lane. But I think for Caps he plays more for bot, and I like Caps more because he plays for bot. Yeah.
Thanks for what?
Okay. Because I guess like in terms of like importance on the team, obviously Caps is first of all he's a mid laner, so you're always going to be super important. And as you guys said, like he can win his lane, he plays Talia, he can play Aurelion Sol, these kind of champions, so he can definitely be the roaming guy as well. His performance has been great. I feel like this split has been a insane like carry for Fnatic, but obviously he has Reckless to also rely on. Perkz is clearly the shot caller, the captain, the leader, everything, all these buzzwords.
I think definitely like for example our second game against Fnatic on the regular split, Corki was at 0-4 and they still won the game. So I would really say that without Perkz probably they don't win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But like if Fnatic go behind, they still have win conditions. Like Reckless will be on
Exactly.
Tristana, Shaya, whatever, and just carry the game, you know.
So it's more important that Perkz performs than
I
Caps.
think so.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah, actually, I think G2's like main win condition is they mid jungle.
Yeah.
If they mid jungle does not get ahead, I feel like Wonder is like he's really good mechanically and he plays really good 1v1, but once the jungler appears on top in the enemy team, then it's not that great.
That's true.
So we talk about Reckless being this like great backup carry. Obviously, the Reckless Tristana, the infamous champion you never want to give to him. Zai as well sounds like another one.
Jin, Jinx. What are some other AD carries?
What is
banned?
you ban. Yeah.
Actually, you guys banned Jin over Swain, if I remember.
You did. That was was
Then I
that a
saw someone
misclick?
say score. No.
Game 4?
Game 4 was
Jiizuke,
that
what
a
happened
misclick?
there? Game 4. Yo, tell to us.
Okay, it was my bad.
Oh!
Pretty much since the game 3 went good, I thought that we still wanted to play into win, and we kept banning 3AD, so we put Reckless on Ezreal pretty much, and I went to the ban, I was banning Jin, and then they're like no, and I'm like we don't want to play against Win? Okay. okay, sorry. But I don't think Win was a problem in that series at all. Like, mid-wise and early game-wise, just we played real bad.
But good to know that.
Confirmed there was a mistake.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah. Yamato wanted to take the blame, but I don't want to do it. Like,
Nice.
it's
Nice
my fault.
guy.
It's my fault.
Okay, no problem.
Regardless, I like the strategy of banning 380 carries and making Reckless play Ezreal. I thought that must have been the most boring series of his entire life for him.
Yeah. Like we meet on mid stage. Hey, you played 4 games, Stallion. Yeah, you played 4 games, Stallion. What is one?
We had the POV stream of Reckless for
We're
the
like,
first
guys,
time, and
this
he
is
just
the
played
first
Ezreal all
POV.
4 games.
Nice.
4 Ezreals.
Yeah. 1200 range away and fire Qs in every team fight. Nice.
Actually, I saw only one clip where he put enemy missing when he fails one, yeah? But there are other mistakes because it's gonna be funny if it happened multiple times that he pings at his teammates or something. Imagine, it will be really fun.
Okay. I like to start here.
Yeah,
Mid lane
but
matchup.
Talking about Reckless, banning him out, I did want to talk a little bit about the G2 bottom lane. It did seem like Kjarnan was playing much better, I think, at least from my perception. The Jhin seems like a really good pick for him. It looked comfortable. So in general, how good is the G2 bot lane right now compared to Fnatic's bot lane?
I think actually they improved. From
Yeah, they
before.
stepped up a lot.
But because before, during the regular split, I felt like G2's bot lane wasn't that great. And maybe it's just because of the fact that they weren't really meshing on G2 weren't playing around bot at all. So, of course, you're naturally inclined to kind of have losing lane or losing matchups and play to scale. But from what I saw recently, like after playing against them, they played better. And I think maybe they can actually contest Reckless Silasang, now that I think about it. I think when it comes to playoffs, Hyanan plays better. I don't know if you noticed, like during regular split, Hyanan wasn't like anything special, just like, any other AD carry. But I feel like in playoffs, he plays really different.
That Jin, man.
Jin was good.
I think when you look at G2 before, you will see bot lane and you see, that's their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, as KaSing said, they step up a lot.
Yeah.
Even our last game against them in the regular split, their bot lane was performing. Like, remember first game they got destroyed by our bot lane, but the second game they were even or a bit ahead. Maybe it was matchup wise as well, but they performed indeed, and they did in playoffs as well.
Because if you look at the names on paper between G2 and Fnatic, it's pretty clear, like, one, mid lane is important for both teams, and then G2 is top side and Fnatic is bot side when it comes to the star player who can win you the game, right? G2 needs Wonder to get ahead, and they don't play around bottom side, and Fnatic can obviously try and rely on Reckless over Hyanan to win here. But if you guys are saying that you feel that G2's bot lane can match Fnatic's, you guys are talking laning phase here, I assume. What about outside of lane? Like, can Hyanan carry as hard as Reckless?
No is the clear answer. I know that's not for me, but no.
I
No
mean,
is the answer.
I feel like
Reckless is Reckless, I think. Yes,
Yeah,
just,
but
What about
so
Reckless
much
on
experience.
Ezreal?
Reckless just can't die. That's the problem.
Use the vitality approach to just ban AD carries and force him on Ezreal, okay?
I mean,
AJ2 do that, but just maybe bans win. Or, I don't know.
tips from Jiizuke here. But it's because, like, realistically...
Only because it's finals, only because he's on stage.
Of
because-
course, of course.
If he screams, don't bans win, it's fine.
Okay. But so you obviously, we all agree Reckless will carry harder.
I mean, the thing is actually, I feel like if Hyanan gets Tristana, it's actually not, it's quite matched, I would say. I mean, Hyanan's Tristana is obviously not the same as Reckless, but I feel like if Hyanan's Trist and Reckless has Ezreal, then I think Jiizuke can win.
I remember an interview where Reckless said that Yarnan was getting Tristan every game, and he will make sure he doesn't get it anymore. So
That was on the podcast
That was-
as well.
yeah.
maybe
It's a long
maybe
interview.
he's not gonna get it.
I mean, Fnatic are probably blue side is first pick Triss and red side is banned. For sure. That's all I see.
Potentially, unless
I
they're
think that might
trading
be a
it.
good argument.
I
yeah.
mean, on red side, if you're Fnatic, I would try and trade Tristana for, like, Swain, if I could. Because, like, if Hyanan first picks Tristana, I respect him on champion, but I'm not that scared of it. Like, that should not lose you the game if you're Fnatic. So that should be the mind games on. We are the only region, I think, who still cares about Tristana this much.
crazy to me because it's such a good
And I
champion.
feel like I want to blame both Hyanan and Reckless for that, specifically. Because
Reckless, honestly.
mainly
yeah.
Reckless.
He's the main reason for why Tristan is like first pick and. Oh, sorry. Oh,
It's fine, dude.
Saying it's fine. You actually make it worse by saying sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You are fine. It is okay.
no! What happened?
And then when Jiizuke adding commentary on the side, we're like, no,
Why? Why?
2 strikes.
Okay.
Third one,
Okay,
you're out.
all right.
Third one, you're out.
I will be careful. No.
You are fine. It's fine.
I know what's gonna happen. Like you're saying, it's fine now on the podcast, but after I'm gone.
I mean, it's good. It's good that you're aware of what's going to happen. KaSing, it's good that you know. We don't have to lie to you anymore. So you're gone. But in the meantime, as long as you're still here, you said earlier, G2, you feel like jungle mid is their big win condition. What do you think is the big win condition for Fnatic in this series?
Me, Daddy.
Mid AD, yeah. For mid bot side, basically. I think Bwipo, he actually showed quite good mechanics and stuff. But when he played tank like Cho'Gath, I think he was quite lost. Like he was.
Yeah,
he
you
was
have anything to
lost,
add there?
I'm pretty sure
Jiizuke?
Vitalis was laughing at him. Like what is he doing? so yeah.
Don't reveal this stuff, KaSing. For example, I think we played Talia Camille against.
Yes.
What was second game? GP?
Second game was...
I think against GP, and then third game against Sogat.
Yes. Third game was Cho'Gath, the one you guys won.
But I really think that doesn't matter if he plays tanks or not. If we executed good, he will die 5 times as GP or 5 times as Cho'Gath. It will be really the same.
Because so you guys obviously we say mid jungle. There's as Drake has highlighted for G2. So you say mid and AD carry. So is the goal for Fnatic just to don't fall behind too much early game on top side and then just get to team fights? So you have Reckless.
But the thing is, okay, if they put Reckless on like Ezreal and have like Ezreal Braum or something, like a really self-sufficient bot lane, then they'll just play for mid and then use their mid priorities to get either top or bot ahead. But I feel like with with G2, it's much more different because I feel even though G2's bot lane have been playing better, I feel like it's not as impactful compared to if they, if Fnatic tried to snowball their bot, for example. I feel like Fnatic's way of or style of playing is like they're really, really decisive in terms of what they're doing on the map, and they're willing to just trade anything, provided they know exactly what they're getting out of it.
Yeah, I think the games are not gonna go late game at all.
Okay.
Like I think Wonder will be on carry champions. Bwipo will adapt either carry as well or Sion Cho'Gath duty, and mid jungle will be a bloodbath in mid lane.
Hopefully.
And bot lane, if Reckless assists champions, it will be like perma 2v2, 3v3 TP bot as well. So yeah, I don't think it will
This
go
sounds
late
like
game.
a great final.
I don't think it will go late game.
Okay, so let's get some predictions then. Who's actually gonna win? You guys are talking a lot about the different things that can happen.
I don't
Jordan,
know.
you got this grin on your face, saying like you're afraid, like you know what you want to say, but you don't want to flame anybody by saying it.
Kind of.
I can start if you want.
You can go.
Like I think if Bwipo learned from our series and they can't exploit Bwipo, then it will be a 3-2 for Fnatic.
Okay.
If he didn't learn, I think it will be a 3-0 or a 3-1.
For G2.
Yeah,
That's fair, but what's your final prediction? So do you think he learned?
I think 3-1 for Fnatic. I just Reckless.
Okay. So you're saying Whippo's learned. He's
All right.
ready.
Just,
he can handle the pressure.
I believe in Reckless and Caps.
Okay.
All right.
It's really hard though.
Yeah, it's like both teams.
But that's a great final, isn't
yeah.
it? That's a good thing.
Oof, my God. I think 3-2 Fnatic.
3-2 Fnatic.
Yeah.
And your reason?
I mean, it's like I don't know why, but I feel like G2 were better. Like I don't know. Like a few days ago, I was gonna say G2, but now that I think about it more, I feel like Fnatic probably will have a better way to win compared to G2.
okay.
And you just want Fnatic to win because of the story, Like they don't win finals for 2 years.
But
so
it-
you just
yeah.
want them to win now.
I mean, so that is a cool story, but I also feel like G2 winning title number 5 in a row after losing 4 players and all the coaching staff is also...
It's 5 against 5
Really
if they
cool.
win. So the Fnatic has to win right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. 'Cause then
Otherwise, it's
summer split.
Yeah. It will be 6 against 4 and then G2 have to play 1 more year and hope
Exactly.
to
But if they
win.
go 5 and 5, the summer split final, if that is Fnatic G2, is
It's
even
actually
more hard.
insane.
All right. I like the hype. I like the pressure and the storylines officially. But what's your prediction? Who you going with?
So,
He's going for Fnatic
how do you know that?
for sure.
Because I'm on 5 games like KaSing. I'm still heavily debating with myself which way it goes.
I was close to saying G2 as well. Like,
So the thing is,
same, but
I don't think Whippo is going to be able to handle what's going to happen top lane.
yeah.
Because he's a little bit different like from Soaz. He definitely takes the trades. He doesn't just sit at his turret.
Yeah, do you see Bwipo level 1?
I know, he was literally flashing for the kill.
Going in all the time.
And that can work if they're winning mid jungle. And then they can actually go top for him and shut down Wonder. That could be great for Fnatic. But you guys already talked about Perkz and Yankos being the better 2v2 lane. That could give an advantage over to G2, meaning Wonder can actually get to play super aggressive. And then my one concern over G2 is actually for both teams. I don't think both teams are very clean around Barons. And there's a vitality problem as well. but it's not as bad as Vitality's issue.
I mean, I think just in EU, no one is good at balance.
it might be that. So I actually think a lot of the games might.
I think
still
we are
go
really
late.
bad, but no one is good at balancing. Yeah.
So out of the top 4 teams, you guys are the worst at it.
Wow.
Wow, that was harsh. That was
I'm just adding that in.
it was,
I appreciate you trying to get out of making a prediction.
No,
Officio,
I'm
but you don't
not.
just
I'm
have
trying to
flame
build
this
it
man.
up. I'm trying to build it up a
Why are
little
you
bit.
flaming the guest?
Sorry.
I can't wait for the predictions after. The Fisher is gonna say 3-0 for Splice. Vitaly is gonna throw an answer. Like,
Wait, I was gonna say that. That comes later. Well, now you guys know my prediction for the quarterfinal, for the third place. But
Oh god.
I'm gonna say Fnatic 3-2. It's gonna go late game in some of the games, and Reckless and Caps can carry, or Reckless can carry, because they're gonna mess up around Baron somewhere.
I think the last game will go late game. Other games will not go late.
That's the perfect ending, however. If it is a game 5 and it goes to late game, that's like
Yeah.
the sickest ending possible. Because we also force all of North America to watch the game then, because they're waiting for their games to start. And we're like, no, this is a 2-hour game, baby. We're gonna keep going here.
Good.
All right, Dracos.
What's up?
3-2. I've written and crossed out 3 different things already.
I still have a few days to look at this, so I don't want to be forced to
Dracos.
stick to this forever.
you're sticking with this. You can't keep changing your prediction on the day of. You've done it like every week in playoffs.
Yeah,
No,
and I
what you
shouldn't have
predict,
changed it.
what you predict here is final.
You know, it actually cost me because I had 3-1 Fnatic for the semifinal, but then I changed it to 3-2 Fnatic because I heard Vitality were doing so well in scrims from Perkz and these guys on the desk. And now Vetti's number 1 on the list.
yeah, he's a better analyst than you.
I would have 2 points.
You would just, if you stuck with your predictions, you'd be fine.
Ah.
All right, I'm also going Fnatic. It's really, really, really hard. But
Wait, so we 4 Fanatics?
we're all 4 Fnatic.
Wait, I'm going G2 then. Hell, I'm definitely going G2.
He just talked about changing his mind.
Why are you such an edgy boy? Why can't you just
He has to be the one.
This is definitely not that one-sided of a final. That
No,
it's
that's why I'm
Fanatics.
predicting 3-2. I'm not saying it's a 3-0. No one's saying it's a 3-0.
KaSing, are you going G2 over there?
No,
I
you
mean,
don't.
Are you going G2? Yeah. If so, I'll go G2 as well.
Are we both going
I'm going
G2?
G2, 3-2.
Well, now you.
All right, I'm gonna give you like 15 seconds to figure out and stick with the decision. Officio.
Are we
Don't
going-
stop
G2?
pointing at other people. You figure out for you
we go
what
G2?
the answer is, Officio.
Alright.
Wait, so Jiizuke is going G2.
Let's just go like this.
no.
then.
I'm with Reckless.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
with
you,
Reckless.
you lock
It's
in,
Fnatic.
and then if they want to change, they can change.
All right, KaSing, you and me, baby.
No, stop. Stop. The only rule is lock in your prediction. Stop. Don't say any word to anyone else. Just tell me.
Okay.
Give me a score
Okay.
line. and
5
then
games. G2 Esports.
Okay. Does anyone else want to change their prediction?
Alright, 3-2 G2.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
I said the 3-1 Fnatic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
we
it's
got it.
Good.
3-1
Thank
Fnatic.
you. You're a man of outstanding moral characters.
It's 5 games.
Not
baby.
just flip flopping. All right. There you have it. Jiizuke says 3-1 Fnatic. I say 3-2 Fnatic. KaSing and Officio agree that it is a 3-2 G2 win
Wonder MVP.
for the finals. Officio also wants to
Reckless
say Wonder.
MVP.
Regular MVP, I go Wonder.
So you get 2.
I think Jan MVP.
Jan MVP, okay, that's
okay.
that'll be surprising, but
Faith
could
in
happen.
the
He got it in the
teammates.
semis, right? That was Jan.
Actually, it will be good. He gets MVP of the split,
God.
and then he goes on stage, he performs, and the MVP of the series.
See, that would be big for Reckless. Who's your
You got
MVP?
both.
Who's your MVP?
I'm going to say Buipo.
Sorry.
I think Reckless is just.
I think
he
if
will
you have
get-
Reckless Caps on your team, I don't think MVP is going to Bippo.
I don't think. Wait. Hold on.
Like, even if Bippo plays the game, like, best game of his life, it's still going to Reckless.
Wait, but I don't know. Is this a public vote?
I mean,
Or is this
Wait,
like
is it actually it is? Or
No,
it's,
no. So not the MVP for this series. Let's be clear. MVP for
I
the
don't know if that's
split
the-
is already voted for. I don't.
yeah, it's still a public vote. Yeah, it's
But-
3
okay,
names.
it's Reckless.
Oh, it's 3 names on Twitter. Then yeah, it's Reckless.
It's Reckless.
Yeah,
This is
you can
Reckless.
still say we
You think
No,
it-
I'm.
Reckless, stick to your predictions, my friend.
I mean, I don't have a choice. People love Reckless. He's a handsome man,
Yeah,
which
but-
shouldn't come into account when you think about how well he plays League of Legends. But it does.
When you played Israel 4 games, people didn't vote for Reckless.
I mean, would you vote for a guy playing for Israel games?
You know,
I mean, he was really good on
screw
it.
it, Buipo. I believe the public will see it.
You get him? Okay, so we have Whippo, Reckless, Yanin, Wonder. I like it, we got 4 different ones. We should put a graphic
Actually,
for
I'm
that
going
one
for
too.
caps.
You want going caps now?
Yeah.
Caps.
Man, people
I'm
flip
gonna
flopping
write this
everywhere
down, I'm gonna
here.
write this down. He's just trying to shift the flame. He's the one who
okay.
started all this, and he's trying to shift the flame. Just ignore him. Who did you say? Wonder MVP is always
Yeah,
said for sure?
baby.
All right, there you go. We wrote it all down. We'll get a pretty graphic for all you guys listening at home. And now we have one last thing to do today. And we're on a roll, so I figured we'll just go right into it.
Oh, yes,
We don't need
yes.
a break. Guys, third place is coming up. And here's the thing. I don't want you to give anything away, because obviously you guys are playing each other. Don't give away those secret strats. But just a reminder to people watching, third place does mean Rift Rivals placement. It is more points for Worlds.
Yeah, third place spring, everyone always tells me, useless. Doesn't matter.
Oh, that made that sense.
And every split, those points ends up mattering on who actually gets like second seed going to Worlds. Or gets the best spot in the gauntlet where you only have to play 1 BO5.
Yes. So what I want to do here is I don't want to give away anything. We talked about potentially you guys giving highlights, but there were concerns over it, giving away strategies. I don't want you to give away anything.
We
But
don't
I
want
do
you to be saying he's going to play Talia
I do
again.
want predictions from the team. This is the last little thing, just some quick predictions.
Don't do this to me, the fisher. Like,
I like it, Talia.
So let's get some predictions. You can, if you want to give like a little 10, 20 second explanation why you can. And we'll start with you, Deficio.
Okay.
Because you're going to flip-flop if I let you go last.
3-2 Splice Vitality with Throne Baron.
If that comes true.
I can't believe it. Oh, I cannot do it.
All right.
But I will have Talia, I wall them, and we can't fail at Nasher.
Because you can't get in.
I've seen you guys split up between engaging and finishing Nashra, and then your wall made you guys just all confused, running around not knowing what to do.
No, but because there was like H2K, you thought
Yeah,
about?
that was the
There
one.
was Broom. Like, okay, I never played against a Broom before with Talia, and he stopped my wall.
Yeah, he did.
So I was so confused. Like the Nasher was free, and he stopped my wall. But we saw the replay, and we could actually finish Nasher.
Yeah, you could.
Because Olaf had no flash, we just finish it and we get out. But let's fight. And yeah.
I got my 3-2, baby.
I know why I'm
Prove me
playing in the
wrong.
semifinals now.
Jiizuke, I'll let you
Okay.
go next. Because I've assumed. What are you going to predict? I have a guess, but...
Yes, okay. I think it's 3-0 or 3-1 if Vitality plays good. If we don't play good, I don't know, it's really coin flip. It can be 3-2 for Splice, 3-0, whatever. but if we play good, I think it can be a 3-0 for
You gotta
Vitality.
lock it in, dude. You gotta
I'm
tell
gonna
me
be
what's
good.
going on, dude.
I'm going for 3-1 Vitality.
3-1 Vitality.
You're gonna lose the
Bam.
game to Splice?
Just an Asher or something.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the Nashra.
I mean, if we play good, we can even 3-0. Yeah.
KaSing.
Yeah,
But-
if we play good,
If we play,
we can also 3-0 Vitality too. That's
So what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Are you gonna play good?
Maybe 3-1 to Splice.
Okay.
But we maybe throw one with Nash or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Everyone's throwing a Nashra.
wait,
here.
Xerxes will lose to 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gilius won a 50-50 against Fnatic. That was a big
Actually,
moment.
yeah, I was
That was insane.
So every time we are on an Asher, I say, Gilius, I trust you, and then it happens.
Maybe you can't say that. There's too much trust going on.
Like the first time it happened against Rocket, we lost 2 Nashers
yeah.
or 3 Nashers. Then on the last one, if we lose that Baron, it's over. Because I don't know, I think we are getting.
You got split push on 2 sides.
Yeah. There were rides and someone bought and they were pushing. If we lose the Nasher, it was over. So I say, Gilius, I trust you, and then we take the Nasher and we end the game. So yeah, after that, I always say it. And
Nice.
I gave confidence.
I'm gonna back up my boy here, Jiizuke, because I believe.
How can you say that when KaSing is he not your boy?
KaSing's also my boy, but he's the boy that's gonna lose. So
Oh my god. Yeah, scare him out. I'll do the podcast if you
you went.
It'd be a great
Come on
host.
my podcast. You start swearing, and you think I'm gonna pitch for your team, sir, with your lackluster moral character and your
To make
curse
it even
words?
worse, after he swears, he says sorry, so we can't even hide it. Everyone's gonna be like, wait, what happened there? Why is he saying sorry so much? We're gonna be like, oh,
Okay. Anyway, 3-2 Vitality. I believe that they will have cleaned it up a little bit, and I think that their early game And I think Niski, despite the fact that he played better, is still going to be a liability up against Mr. Talia God here.
Niski, no, he's gonna be fine. It's the jungle matchup that decides the mid lane. That's what I've learned.
Oh,
today.
yeah, that's right. You just ban Zach and your jungler doesn't do anything. I forgot. You're that team.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But they've
Oh,
Trundle.
and Trundle. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Okay,
Two
so
champions right
it's
now.
fine. We play
Seriously,
like.
if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Please play more champions, though. It would really help your
So
team's
we
draft.
just use the fanatic approach. We ban 3 junglers. and
Two
we're
more
fine.
in the next phase. Okay, so we got Draco's 3-2 Vitality.
KaSing is 3-1 Splice, Jiizuke 3-1 Vitality, Deficio 3-2 Splice. So we got 2 3-1s, 2 3-2s, 2 for Splice, 2 for Vitality. Now, guys, as you know, we're a big fan of bets on the podcast. KaSing, you won one, and you got the greatest interview of all time.
What did you
I
do?
did.
BG2.
Yeah, like Diffusion said that he basically bet against me, that basically saying that we will lose to G2. But then that was the game that I had like Rakan and we had Galio as well, and G2 kind of
And G2 played tank top, so they
couldn't play
lost.
the game.
It was very unlucky. I couldn't have
Won.
predicted that pick and ban face, so I had to interview him on stage in
And
a
tell him
very
he was the best and just the most handsome
yeah.
and the strongest.
Everything.
I want an interview though.
You should go watch it. You should go watch it.
Today, it's a little different, guys. We figured out some stakes. So are you familiar with the song EUphoria?
Oh no, I am not familiar. No.
You are.
You guys
Eurovision-
don't know it?
Anyway, anytime EU plays at Worlds, it's a Eurovision song contest song. Great
Can I
song.
play it? Or?
No, definitely probably
Oh,
not.
no, I
Definitely
guess
would be
there's some copyright there.
We're gonna figure out actually the legality of this bet
yeah,
later.
That's fine. No, that should be fine.
All right. Here's the deal: if you lose, the 2 people who lose.
No, it was just the players.
No, I
This
think we
was
should
just
get into
the
this.
We agree.
No.
This is just
You
the
want
players.
you want for Splice? No, you can change your prediction if you want.
No, but
No,
in this
no,
show,
no.
The fish, if it's-
I'm gonna win for you. Don't worry about
You're
that.
definitely gonna win
Yeah.
for me.
No, you
Okay.
have faith, and you don't have to worry about anything.
So you're in the best?
two
Okay, okay.
losers. You have to learn the song, and you have to sing the chorus full bore in a Twitter
Full
video.
bore?
Just really hard. You have to go hard. You have to like sing it as no like I'm kind of singing it. I'm shy. You have to sing it like you're on stage and like you've been doing this all your life. Like
Oh no.
So it's just like a
So-
10-second part of it or something.
yeah,
15
just
seconds.
just the main line.
Can you sing it for us, Dracos?
No, because that would ruin the bet. Because then I would have given it away. For
When
free.
I make it spicier, we introduce the finals with our song.
I don't think we can do that.
We're not allowed to. We're not the producers.
To be fair, we
and
already
not
got in a little bit of trouble for the hot dog suit thing. It's hotly debated whether or not me and Deficio are actually supposed to be on stage in hot dog suits. We got it through.
We'll figure it out.
We need to stop making bets about things that will happen on air without talking to our producers ahead of time. So for now, I will say Twitter video. Maybe we update it if something changes.
Okay, so you sing the chorus of EUphoria,
The song.
upload it to. Do we sing it together or
You can sing it together? Yeah, I like that. Sing it together.
we call you on Skype? We sing it together.
Well, no, you'll be there in person.
Oh, we're gonna sing it in
Okay.
person.
You're going to sing it in Copenhagen, baby.
Oh, we could do it on Saturday.
Copenhagen?
We
do it on the finals day.
and we upload
Yeah.
it to Twitter.
And we upload it to Twitter.
Oh no. Okay, no, I can't listen. I can't listen.
Okay,
Maybe
KaSing.
you want to change your prediction?
No, KaSing, do not lose
Oh, okay.
this game.
I will
Nah,
not.
because we're fine, bro.
We're good, dude.
We're fine.
I'm looking forward. You guys are going to make great singers.
Oh god.
I finally get to hear Deficio sing. You don't understand. I've been trying to get this in for so long.
I am without a doubt the worst singer
And
ever.
people-
Yeah,
to find
don't
that
talk
out
about
first.
that. I think I'm the worst as well, but it's fine. I won't sing.
KaSing, you can sing, right?
No.
Okay.
I was hoping I could hide behind
That's
you a
like
little
trying
bit
to-
and you could be like super loud.
I'm going to recap it before we close out. Jiizuke and I have put our faith in Vitality. If Vitality lose, we have to sing together the chorus of EUphoria. Now, on the opposite side, Deficio and KaSing have put their faith in Splice. And if Splice lose, they have to sing the chorus of EUphoria. Either side has to make a video and upload it to Twitter. And you have to go hard. Let me make this clear. If you sing and you're quiet and the audience goes, "That was weak. You didn't put your heart and soul into it." I want to.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
I want to hear you belt it. I want to hear it come out. I'm in the same boat. You gotta understand, but like, you got to do it with confidence.
We can record at
You
the
gotta do it with
hotel.
gusto.
We
Yeah,
just
we can
record on the phone. Just gotta record on the phone, I guess.
The fish, are you sure?
It's not too late.
I trust more in Splice than I trust in Vitality's Barons.
We need, like, talking about transfers, like, I think we do them. We are the team that takes most 50-50 in the league.
That's true.
But
That's true.
it's not completely like he's
No, I'm not playing
he's not
Gilius.
that good as Mites. Okay, he's not that good. but like we take so much 50-50 that should be like 80% should be just prepared nashers and 20% 50-50. But we take 70% 50-50. So
And that's the
why
thing.
it always happens like this.
Let's make it clear here. I'm not flaming Gilius. I'm flaming the team.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Your early game is
No,
pretty
but-
good, though.
Yeah.
I gotta give you that one.
We'll find out.
Early game gods.
We'll find out who's better. You can see that it's gonna be Saturday.
That's
Right?
Saturday.
That is the third place match between Splice and Vitality Sunday. Fnatic versus Jiizuke the finals in Copenhagen. Tickets are still available if you guys want to
I
get
think
them.
that almost, I don't know how many is left for the actual final, so you gotta get them right
Get
now.
on it. Get both.
I mean, definitely go get both. Why
I think
not?
if you enter both things, you get a chance to do a play test on stage. Is that still happening?
I think that if you have a weekend ticket, there's
If
a
you get
chance
both
you
tickets.
can playtest on stage. I know there's fan meets with players and casters. You can meet Dracos. That's something, right?
You can meet both of these guys. That'd be hype.
Oh yeah, both Jiizuke and KaSing are gonna be there.
We're just cosplaying on stage. We're not doing that.
Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. Good luck to both of you. More to
Thank you.
Jiizuke though. You didn't be good. I guess you need more of the luck. But either way, I'll stop being.
Wow.
KaSing,
Wow.
this is your moment.
Why didn't you want this prize? I really want a trio singing. Go with plus.
No, I'm saying he needs. God, it's so hard to end because I
you
wanted
said
to.
that
No,
more luck
I'm
to
saying he
KaSing?
needs more
Okay,
luck.
yeah,
Yeah. He needs more luck. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Man. I got your back. All right. As we descend into total anarchy,
Sorry,
as the
Draco.
laughs
I
start again,
misunderstood,
it's okay. It's okay. This is the end of episode 11. Thank you guys for coming on. We will see you guys in Copenhagen at the finals, at the third place match. Until next time, thanks for listening.